What's up guys? In this video I want to share a very unique approach to AI coding that no one really talks about, and I called it mindful AI coding. Before we go deep in this, let's first go into other category which I call mindless vibe coding. So quickly recap what is that. So you ask an AI, for example, create a button, press enter, then another prompt, change its color, enter, then change its position, enter. So you're actually building your application via prompts. That's it. So every job, every task is done by AI. A little bit more advanced example, let's say a person would like to build a social media scheduler for Facebook, X, and Instagram. And some people, as I've seen, do not even bother to create a deep and thoughtful prompt. They just go with one sentence, and then going back and forth, adding some functionality, fixing some errors, issues. They maybe even succeed and build something that works, but again, unlikely it's going to be something complex for majority of the reasons. But in this approach, even again, if people succeed, the only skill that developed in that process is prompting. Why? Because in that case, there is completely no understanding of software development as a discipline, as a subject, because it's a very complex discipline that completes of many elements that you have to be understood by a developer to be successfully build something. So that's a mindless vibe coding. So let's go and take a look at another approach, which I call mindful AI coding. So you use AI, but in mindful, intelligent manner. So in this case, you use AI as an advisor. You explain AI all the decisions before coding, architectural decisions, coding decisions, and also you ask AI to survey you on a subject, on your project. So you kind of ask me questions about this project, the one you think are important. And in this case, if you go in that case, then you understand the logic of entire application, connections between elements of your system, of your app. So you understand where front end goes, how exactly, why is it designed that way, why, let's say, some components in your application consist of some subcomponents. Then you, of course, you will understand the majority of your code in that case. And the biggest win that you learn to build, because you learn the principles by communicating back and forth with AI on why something has been chosen, why something has been built in this way. And you, of course, master the tools because you're working deliberately. In that case, my friends, it's much more slower way than just mindless vibe coding, because you get a cognitive load. So it means your brain gets a load. You have to think, you have to understand things, and it's not very easy because it's a process. But in that process, what you do, you grow. So because you now have new neural connections in your brain on that subject, you kind of got the logic of how something works. And it means next time you will build better, because now you have a real experience, because you have some insights of understanding, oh, this works in that way. Oh, that's awesome. I think I kind of get it. So next time, now you have some copy paste codes of your own snippets. And it means you understand those snippets and you know why you're using this exact one. So this is a way to grow. So let me please show you an example. So for that, this intelligent AI coding, I usually prefer to use this Gemini 2.5. Why? Because this model is very strong. It's one of the top models out for coding at the moment, and it's free. So it means I can use it for as many messages as I want. So, and for that specific task, it was, as you can see, I needed to define a database schema for my flashcards application for web developers. And as you can see here, so first I set the roles of your web dev expert and database architect. So there's task, I set the, explain my project, I give some details, and as you can see here, I don't ask it to write code. I say first, I say let's go step by step, because I need to understand the logic again in the process. And I say ask me as many questions as needed. So it started predictably. So the question one, the category model, and it asked me what properties would I like to have. So I answered. It gave me the output code, as you can see here. So, and then, as you can see here, I ask it, please rewrite in the format. So this is the code I have previously used in my previous SaaS application, and I liked it because I put some effort to create that code. Again, see, as you can see here, because on the previous project I have learned something new that is after my analysis was approved by me. Now I reuse it in new projects. So again, it's a plus, it's a advantage to your speed, and it has rewritten, as you can see here, in that way. And as you can see here, it says this is an excellent format, so it means it approves my code. All right, so now as you can see here, so question 2, new model. And now it gives me some output. And again, now I ask the question, do we absolutely need to create this created at, updated date, and some more question. And now, as you can see here, it gives me the answer. Now I read this answer, I process that information, and I make my decision on that. So it means I made some work on thinking. And then, I read their answers, and then I say, okay, let's keep. Because in my head, I thought, okay, it's intelligent decision. I would like to agree with it. So next, it gives me the code. As you can see here, for subcategory, for example, I analyzed the code. I decided to remove description and order, because in my particular situation, it's redundant, because it's MVP project. Again, in that particular case, what I'm doing is simplifying my code, because the less entities, the less properties, it's easier to manage in your brain. That's what I'm saying, like mindful coding. Then let's say I haven't understood, for example, this particular string of code. Then I ask, explain for a beginner. It gives me an explanation. I try to understand whether I need this at all. So again, it's mindful. Now, as you can see here, then I'll say, before moving on, explain me the database structure. Category will be the collection, and subcategory the documents, or how, because I didn't have the clear picture at the moment, and now it starts to give me the explanation. Then I read, I try to process this in my brain before moving on. It gives me some examples. So as you can see here, I'm not understanding at all, but I ask questions, and again, it clarifies me its decisions. And as you can see here, after some time, I say, oh, I see now 3 collections, and then I specify, and it says, yes, excellent, you perfectly got it right now. And now I understand why the schemas were built in this way. It means in my brain now I have the clear picture, and it's very important for developers to understand their application. As you can see here, I even asked it to draw a diagram, even though the diagram wasn't so good, but still, at least I tried. As you can see, my friend, it was pretty long dialogue between me and AI, but in the process of that dialogue, I have made again, tried to entity relationship diagram to create, and then, asked to write me some functions on that. So the bottom line, if you go in this mindful AI coding, it may seem a little bit slower at the moment because you have to process, you have to think, but in the long run, you will be much more effective, efficient, and professional developer because you understand every part of the process, logic, and your components. So if you want to grow as a developer, this is the approach you would like to take. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.